Hi, this is me. I get real. So I wasn't trying to purposely have this button be so bright, but something I could find that fit. The other buttons I have, I I pulled buttons out of the bathroom drawer and I put them in this jar. So these jars were supposed to be for sale at my clinic. Um, they were supposed to hold the herbs and spices that I was either gonna sell them or give them to patients. So say I prescribed a tea, this would have been an option. I also had some bags, similar to what I had out earlier. I don't know where it is right now. Similar to these type of bags, but like a cellulite, not cellulite, cellulose. Um, and I never had anybody. So basically, because I was told that I was going to have the startup cost, I planned and I was looking around for the, like, even if it was the size of this small room and maybe the bathroom, like a bathroom, I don't know, sink area, kitchen sink area, or a lab sink area, you want both separate. And then you also want a medicinal area. And then you want a lab sink separate. That's a lot. And that's a lot to ask for, but if you had a small space, I actually looked at a space that had both sinks and the bathroom right out the door. It was like $7.99 or $6.99, I can't remember, a month. I was so mad. It was like almost like perfect, but it was like not perfect. But it had the spaces and the rooms and the waiting area, like our teacher could call it the education area, the reception area, and separate office, separate treatment rooms and or exam rooms, treatment rooms. God, because this relative wouldn't commit to keeping a promise, I had to literally not sign a lease because that's my name on the lease. That's my name. This person had done this for years, and I would sign leases. I would sign car loans. I would get school loans, and oh, don't worry, I'll pay for that. Don't worry, oh, you're gonna move into this place. Oh, I'll pay for it. Like, and then you're like, all right, it's due date. Like, what are you talking about? And you almost want to think that they're really forgetful, but you know what's going on. It's abusive matter. It's another form of control, and like if you destroy your credit or get kicked out of places or non-payment of rent, you repo a car, you're more trying to think that this person can be your god by getting on your hands and knees and bending over and begging and having money, food, housing, vehicle. Like if something that person has, if they see a need in you, they're gonna display, oh, look what I have and you don't. If I needed cucumbers, look what I have and you don't, then I'd be on my knees begging, So they take a cue. If you have all the money in the world, then they're gonna put out fake love, or they're gonna put out something like, oh, I'm connected with these famous people. Wouldn't you like to be part of this? Oh, I can get you into this golf club. Like whatever it is, these type of people are going to do this. So I was really afraid of making videos due to safety issues and privacy based on safety issues. And I basically have said in the past, more than once, excuse me, that I keep these videos for experience and strength and hope that I have, because I feel hopeless. But there was a time that I felt a lot more hopeless. So then I feel hopeful knowing that things, I can, like, sometimes people say, they laugh when they say, oh, I changed my life, like, I lost weight, or I stopped drinking, or, I started thinking about my health, or broke up with somebody in an abusive marriage, and they'll laugh and be like, "Good grief, everything got better. Oh my god!" Like, no, it's not like things got worse. And in my situation, I swear, I feel like things got worse. But it's, if you put it in perspective, it's not worse, like, for life. And these people in Texas have no life. People who's, or sorry, I say in Texas, Nevada, and people who had that yarn yesterday that was rolling all over. But I was like pulling it all over. So it's like they have no life. They are expired. Literally, there it is. They're literally, this guy was, she's not, she's Tuesday, right? This guy did a, here she does, I guess he does live streams on Tuesday. I know he does them on Thursdays. And I gotta put a reminder, speaking of days of the week. So the 9th, I have this thing due. No extension. So basically, I'm gonna put 8 a.m. I basically have to do it and put a reminder in a week before. I think that's today. Yeah, I'll say 2 days before and 1 day before. Let's try to do 1 week before. See what happens. So, it's like these people have no life. So I fell asleep for a minute. It was quiet for a minute. And the window's open, so it's not that quiet. And the bus went downstairs and get some food for my daughter. I gotta do something for my son. And I felt like, I'm like, this is so small. What am I doing? I felt like, see, I noticed, like, how long have I been wearing this? Maybe it just happened. They didn't really, like, they just cut holes. No, they still got. I guess I can see a thread in there, because this is off-white, like, ivory, and this is, waiting for my daughter to call me. What the heck is that? Anyways, I was wearing this. It's cold out. You'd probably be really warm. I think some of my jeans come from Africa, so I'm, like, cold. I've got on 2 sweaters. I don't even know what else. A tank top. But yeah, experience, strength, and hope. This guy, the Rockstar Flipper had posted his video about he's not going to play live in memory of the people in the catastrophe that happened in Las Vegas. And he was actually just in Las Vegas a month ago maybe, for the eBay Open. So that's kind of scary to think about all the people that are, it doesn't matter where you're from, locals, not locals, kids, grown-ups, doesn't matter. What scared the crap out of me. I don't want to be neglectful of what's going on around me. I didn't watch anything, but I was reading in the daily paper about it, and I got offended at my newspaper because I got on my last straw, on my straw that broke the camel's back, when they show certain people who commit crimes, but they don't show other certain people. And I get offended when it's like people of color, and I'm just like, you're not going to do that to every person. And sometimes the crime is like disgusting, and I don't know. Sometimes people are put on trial, but it's anything like that. It's going to be public record. I'm trying to figure out what this goes to. Yeah, this is weird because it's already open. And it has this. There's seashell. Not vegan. So if you're a vegan, would you use buttons and stuff that are seashells? So that's pretty much one of the reasons why I'm not vegan. I bought this purse and another purse that are leather. I bought them used, so you're keeping it out of the dump. I plan on taking care of it. And I felt like I came home, I said, God, I just spent a buttload of money that I don't have on a credit card at a thrift store. And I'm not even a reseller, so it's not like, ooh, this is cute, I'm going to resell it. It's like, no, I'm going to keep it. They were both in good condition. This was new with tags, this purse. And I felt like God was like, you need to just keep keep whatever clothes you have, and fix them and take care of them. And I was like, you're not going to buy any other clothes. Like, so I'm doing an experiment. I'm like, dude, it's not like I plan on dying in 5 years or 5 days. Like, what if I literally lived 50 years and never bought any clothes from underwear or anything else? So I was like, I'm going to be a minimalist and get rid of stuff. But it's like, here's the two tricks. You can get it free. Someone gives it to you, or you can make it. So I have tons of fabric. And that doesn't mean go buy tons of fabric and stuff. Like, if I made something, a button fell off and I needed a button, and I really couldn't find one in the house, that would be a different story. I don't see myself doing it. But if you see me like I am right now, if this keeps up, I think I would be a lot more calm and peaceful. And I fell asleep and I had my butt in the air. I was so sick. I had to sit here. I was already like rocking back and forth. And I had to hold on to this pillow here. I hold on to this pillow because I don't have anybody to hug. So I threw out my teddy bear. I'm so mad at myself. I threw out 2 teddy bears. I just want to cry. I want it back. So I'm a single mom. I'm a lonely single mom. I like to cuddle. I like to be friends with people. I like to drive to places like concerts and mountains and hikes. And I don't have anyone to do it with. And so I just was like, I like have this pillow like a teddy bear because I'm like, poor me. Like, I can't just be like, stand there and be like, someone hug me. Go ahead. Like, so I get like really, really, I will get depressed. So that's basically how I've coped this past year. Before last year, summer of 2016, summer 2016, I felt like, oh God, I felt like I need a thimble. I felt like still in survival mode, still in a shell. And I felt this stuff in my heart, in my conscious mind, my subconscious mind. Thoughts that come and go. And being in this much poverty, years ago I was in this much poverty, but it's gotten worse, and it's gotten worse, and it's gotten worse. And in some ways you would think it's getting better because I'm not in the shelter system. But in other ways, I had a list of shelters I was going to call last summer because I had no job, no income, and I couldn't afford my rent. So it becomes like that type of situation where you think just for today it's a little better, but you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. And I had like 100 or 200 bucks from losing my job when I lost my job, and I thought real hard about this. Should I get a trailer hitch for my car because we're going to be living in the car and sleeping in the car with caged animals? At the time we just had the rabbit, and I had already gone to the Kia dealer and asked him about getting a trailer hitch prior to that, and I didn't have money for it. But I said, I need to be able to like go to the dump or buy a mattress or something like that. Like normal people have friends that have trucks and stuff. I did have somebody said your place that you live is so abusive. Like you're trying to get rid of toxic people. She goes, I have a truck. I do not like people asking me to move. But she said, your place is so abusive and so toxic, and I see what it's doing to you. You get out of there, I will move you for free. And she had never even been here. And she had said similar things about me when I was around toxic people, how it was affecting my health. So things sometimes get worse, but you have to put it in perspective. And it's like I flee from one thing to the next, and it's like an insanity fleeing. It's like it doesn't necessarily make me flee into I just assumed there was no such thing as a nice neighborhood, or there's no such thing as a nice home, or if you don't have money, you feel like you can be around other people that don't have money that actually are hardworking and, parent their children and, like, aren't as violent as I look like crack dealers, like just because it's your moral choices. That's you. You, your moral choices are not matched up with mine, and I have no right to judge you. When I'm in neighborhoods where I feel like you're dealing crack and people are shooting up the place all the time with guns, and I can smell your crack smoke through my window, your moral situation becomes my problem and my safety problem. And so it's like you feel like you want to flee. So putting in perspective with these people that were murdered, it's like there's shootings here, there's schools closed down. Their school was closed down yesterday. My kids' school was closed down. People at our old church's school was shot up and closed down, locked down, and bullet holes. One girl was sick, and I hated that. I was in trouble when I was a kid. When I was sick, and when my kids were sick, though, I didn't have a babysitter. So that means I had to take them to class. You have an exam. You have a lab. You can't leave them in the car. You had to take them and tell them, sit down and don't make a sound. And here's a bag in case you have to puke. And there's the bathroom in case you have the other end. And I would get them cocoa. And I think we got mac and cheese microwavable. We didn't have a microwave, so I'd get microwavable. I think they had, some place I live had them installed in the kitchen, but we didn't really use them. Sometimes I wish right now, what if I was that person who ate microwavable snacks all day? It sounds so nice and salty and yummy. So I gained 2 pounds yesterday, and I made videos all day yesterday about how hungry I was and how I couldn't stand it. I ate a whole bunch of salt out of a jar. Besides the salt that I eat with my oil, I had a big Himalayan chunks. I was just like mowing down. I was so hungry. I didn't care. It's making my mouth water just thinking about it. So this guy didn't film, and I clicked on his, there's my kid, I gotta go. That means she might need a ride, hold on.